In this video, we're going to take a closer look at verification in IRI. But beyond that, we're going to take a look at what it would take to integrate this to an external system. For us, this is going to be ServiceNow. So you should be familiar by now that if someone generates a high risk, or if there's a particular employee or a system account in your environment that you want to take a closer look at, you don't necessarily have to be responsible for that yourself. What most people want to do is create a collection of people or mailing groups that act as verifiers when we as administrators see something that needs to be checked. To create a verifier in your environment, go up to the menu and click on Collaborators. From here, you can see I only have one account in my environment, and it's the account that we used to set this up in one of the previous videos. To create a collaborator that's specifically designed to be a verifier, simply click the Invite Collaborator button. Now just put a first name. We'll just make something up. Mark Hamill. And for an email, we'll put an account that I created for this purpose. And now you have a choice to make. Is this person an administrator or a verifier? Now, they could be both if you'd like. You could set someone up as an administrator and a verifier. However, here, we're just going to set this person up as a verifier. So after you've entered the information, first, last name, and the email address for this person, click Invite. Now you can see on the status column over here that this person is showing up as invited. Now, if this person had already created an account in Starling, then this would show up as registered already, and they would get a confirmation email simply saying you're now a verifier. But because this person has never registered in Starling, this is going to generate an email to them saying you've been invited as a verifier and click here to register. So let's go take a look at that process before we continue. Okay, here we are. We've received the email from One Identity, and you can see here there's a hyperlink saying complete your registration. So let's go ahead and do that process for this verifier. We'll click the hyperlink, and as you can see, it remembers the information about this user. Let's go ahead and create a password, add our phone number, and agree to the terms of use. Once you've done that, you're ready to click the Start button, confirm your password, and sign in. From here, just click the Identity Analytics and Risk Intelligence service. And notice for this user, the dashboard isn't shown. This user is responsible for verifications only. And since this is a brand new user, there are no approved requests, there are no pending requests, etc. So let's log back into our portal, create a high-risk user, and execute a verification request for that user. So here you can see we've logged into our demo domain, and we're going to do something that's going to take a user from a no-risk situation and put them into a risk situation simply by adding them to the admin group. Again, this may not be something you do normally, but for a demo, it works perfectly. So to do this, we'll pick someone in the United States and just randomly pick someone. So how about Barbara Harper? We'll go to Member Of, click Add, and add the administrators group. Check that. Yep, that's right. Click OK, click Apply, OK. Now we'll go back into IRI, execute a collection, and see if Barbara pops up as a new high-risk account. Again, to initiate a collection, simply come to that collector, click on Actions, and Initiate Collection. As a reminder, this is something that would normally happen every 24 hours or on whatever schedule that you had defined. For us, we just want to execute it now, so there's nothing to keep you from going over and just saying initiate the collection now. So the collection finished, and now we're back on the dashboard, and if we scroll down, we'll see that we have a new high-risk account, Barbara Harper. You'll remember from the other videos that it's really easy just to drill down into Barbara Harper's account and find out why is it that she's considered a high-risk account. In this case, she's got a number of high-risk entitlements that she inherited by being a part of the administrators group. Any one of these rows you can click on, and then you're presented with the rule evaluation details for this account. Again, every single one of those things are listed here. The one we clicked on is already open. So now is the time that you say to yourself, something about this looks fishy. Now, of course, obviously being a part of the administrator group is a big deal, but let's just say it was some entitlement in SharePoint, or maybe Barbara belongs to the marketing department, but for some reason she's been given an IT role. Whatever that case may be, if you see something that you think is not right, the next best thing to do is click on Request Verification right here. When the dialog pops up, you have an ability to assign this to a verifier. So click the dropdown, and sure enough, there's our test account. So we'll select our test account and click Submit Request. Notice once you've done that, you're instantly shown on the UI that this is pending verification. And as an administrator, you can always go in and find out what verifications are pending, which ones have been closed, etc., simply by going up to the menu and clicking on verification. So as we can see, in our case, we only have one pending verification, and it's been sent to Mark Hamill. So let's go over to Mark's email inbox and find out what that verification request looks like. However, before we do, let's take a look at the ServiceNow incident list that I currently have showing on the screen. Notice at the very, very top of the screen, these are sorted by incident number, that there aren't any service requests currently showing for Starling. So just remember that as we go back into Mark's email and look for that notification. So here we are with the notification. Now it says Joe Campbell has requested that you verify an instance of high-risk access. Please click on the link below for additional details and to provide your response. So all Mark has to do is click on this hyperlink, put in his user ID, click next, put in the password, and sign in. And here, right away, we're presented with the entitlement verification request for Barbara Harper. We could very easily go back to the other screen and see all the pending requests, but that hyperlink brought us to exactly the one that was generated. From here, Mark has some options available to him. First and foremost, they should open up the additional information section. Now we can see that Barbara has been added as a trustee of a group, built-in administrators, an Active Directory, in the Aviato domain, and these are the permissions that have been requested for review. Now, I don't have all the information I need on this screen. For instance, I may need to make a phone call. I may need to look at some history about Barbara's employment. Whatever the case may be, I have some work I need to do. However, when I'm finished making my decision, I can come back and simply say, yes, I understand the risk, or no, I do not believe Barbara should have such high level of access, and I request it to be reviewed. Let's click on that and click Submit Response. Now, something really cool happened. Notice that support ticket 10005 has been created and linked to this record. If we click on that, it will actually bring us directly into ServiceNow. Let's do that. And here's the incident that was opened up in ServiceNow. So when Mark decided that this is something that someone needs to take a look at, it doesn't just get lost. In this case, we've integrated to ServiceNow, we've opened up a ticket, and it's actually already been assigned to the right people. If we scroll down, we can take a look at the activity. So here's the high-risk account. Barbara Harper has the ability to create organizational units. This was requested by Joe Campbell. It was verified by Mark. And here's the hyperlink for the original verification. Let's go back to the incident list and we'll see this at the very top. And sure enough, there it is right there. The caller is Starling IARI and the assignment group is security admins. So of course, depending on how your environment is configured, this would automatically send a high priority text message or a push notification to my ServiceNow app. The point is, now action can be taken. And the fact that we have that verification in our system still tied to that service account incident number, and here that is, means that the connection between the support ticket that was open, the verification process that was open, who verified it, and the person who asked for verification is all neatly tied together. So where do you go to set up this integration? Well, let's log out of Mark's account and log back in as an administrator. To set up the integration to ServiceNow, simply click on the settings cogwheel at the top right, then click on third-party applications, and from here, you'll see the ServiceNow integration. Now mine has already been configured. This simple toggle switch here will open up the details that allow you to put in your instance URL, the username you want to use, and the password to connect to the ServiceNow environment. After you've done that, simply turn the feature on by clicking this toggle button on the bottom right. This isn't the only integration that we offer. Take a look at the top right-hand side of the screen and notice that I've got 5 notifications that I haven't looked at yet. Let's click on that notification icon and see what those notifications are. Since the last time I've read the notifications, we've done a number of different things. We've done a collection, we've seen new high-risk accounts, we've seen increased high-risk accounts, and we've had a verification request rejected. All of these notifications are sitting in the Starling portal. However, they can be forwarded to a syslog collector. What this means is that you can have a process on-prem in your own environment that's receiving these messages through an automated process. And if there's a particular type of message that you think you need to be alerted to, now you're given that opportunity. Let's go back to the settings screen and click on Event Forwarding. Now in my environment, I don't have this turned on at the moment, but if you wanted to activate it, you would simply click from off to on, and then enter the hostname or IP address of your syslog collector. the port, and provide structured data ID if necessary. Once this is activated, then all of those messages that are generated in our system, again, things like higher risk accounts detected, increased risk accounts detected, you don't necessarily need to be watching the dashboard to know that happens. The fact that they're being sent to your syslog means that you can now generate your own events when those messages arrive. So to recap, we've seen 3 different features that are all basically interconnected. How we set up verification accounts, how we ask for verification, the process of either approving or denying a verification, and the integration into ServiceNow or syslog. 3 very important features that free you from being tied to the dashboard.